शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सह
Ipa break
सहनौ
आदे. Ipa break आदे. Ipa we are not able to hear you
Okay,
properly.
I'm going to disconnect this speaker and audio. Hopefully that should be better. Okay, is this better now? You can hear me okay, right?
Yeah.
But its volume is so low.
That's okay. It's better.
See, wait till the settings. Okay, I don't know if it's any better, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's better now.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं। वेट्रिवेल् मुरुगनुक्कु हर हरो हर। लोकवीर्यं महापूज्यं सर्वरक्षाकरं विभुं पार्वती हृदयानन्दं शास्तारं प्रणमाम्यहं। स्वामी हे शरणमय्यप्प। वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं कूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचर गुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि आर्तान् कामानजस्रं विदरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी द्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशीविभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. എതീനു മഞ്ഞനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ട തോറു പ്രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കുന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good evening everyone. Okay, since you only have 4, I don't know if anybody else is going to join. So we'll just directly jump into 59 today. These are very small chapters, so we'll run through pretty fast. So 59 is Venu Gana Varnanam. So Sudha, you can be in the first half, you and Tulsi first half. Okay. So every couple of stanzas, I'll try to say the meanings. It's just a generally Krishna's childhood, right? So it's not no. These next 2 chapters are pretty uneventful chapters compared to the other chapters where something keeps happening. This goes pretty smoothly. Everything is going fine, right? So this is the happy days of Krishna. So, त्वद्वपुर्नवकलाय कोमलम् प्रेमदोहनमशेषमोहनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वपरचिन्मुदात्मकम् वीक्ष्य सम्मुमुहुरन्वहं स्त्रियः. So त्वद्वपुर्नवकलाय कोमलम्, प्रेमदोहनम् अशेष मोहनम् ब्रह्म तत्व परचिन्मुदात्मकम्, Vikshya Sammumuhur Anvaham, if you want to break it. Sammumuhur Anvaham Striyaha. Tvatvapur Navakalaya Komalam Premadohanamashesha Mohanam Brahma Tattva Parachin Mudatmakam Vikshya Sammumuhur Anvaham Striyaha.
त्वद्वपुर्नवकलाय कोमलम् प्रेमदोहनमशेषमोहनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वपरचिन्मुदात्मकम् वीक्ष्य सम्मुमुहुर्रन्वहं स्त्रियः. त्वद्वपुर्नवकलाय कोमलम् प्रेमदोहनमशेषमोहनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वपरचिन्मुदात्मकम् वीक्ष्य सम्मुमुर्
Sammumur Anvaham Sriya.
वीक्ष्य सम्मुमुहुर् अन्वहं स्त्रियः. ராவா இரு பிளஸ் ஆன போட்டுக்கலாமா?
If you want to break it, you break it into a ir and a sammumuhur.
அது எனக்கு வரமாட்டேங்குது. I'll break it. So, okay.
त्वद्वपुर्नवकलाय कोमलम् प्रेमदोहनमशेषमोहनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वपरिचिन्मुदात्मकम् वीक्ष्य सम्मुमुहुरन्वहं प्रियः. त्वद्वपुर्नवकलाय कोमलम् प्रेमदोहनमशेषमोहनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वपरिचिन्मुदात्मकम् वीक्ष्य सम्मुमुहुरन्वहं स्त्रियः.
That's the third line, parachin. Okay, it's a slightly, I heard it like parichin or something. It's parachin.
Sure.
Answer 2. Manmatonmatita manasah kramate twadvilokanaratastatastatah gopikastavana sehire hare kananopagatimapyahar mukhe. So the first stanza, but is saying, you are tattva parachin mudatmakam. You are the supreme consciousness. You are the eternal bliss, and you who has now appeared in the form of this body. This every day when the gopikas are seeing this, they are completely getting enchanted by it. They are just falling in love with you, right? He says, why not? Because your form is so beautiful. He says, like the fresh kalaya flowers, the dark blue flowers, your form is like that. So of course the gopikas are in love with you, because he's, again, remember Krishna in the next couple of chapters we're going to talk about is about 6 to 7 years old, right? So you have to kind of keep that age in mind as I'm kind of explaining the next 2 chapters. So they are absolutely in love with your look, the way you're looking, and you're so cute and everything, and they are always in love with you. You're charmed by your looks as well. And so not only are they just charmed by your looks, but they are not able to spend any time away from you. So they're always thinking about you. So in the second stanza, they say anytime they have free time, they come to your house. We already saw that. And even when you are going out, when you go for herding cows in the morning, right, that time they start really missing you, because they are not able to get to see you, and it'll continue. So that's how they're constantly thinking about you. They're constantly talking about you as well. So manmaton mathita manasaha, put the ich manasah kramat. So there's two ith there. You take the first ith, kramat, comma. Next one, tvad vilokana ratas tatas tataha gopikas tava na sehire hare, comma. Kananopagatim. You can say it up to that together. Kananopagatim apya har mukhe. If you want to break it at that ma. Manmatonmatitamanasah kramate twadvilokanaratastatastatah gopikas hire hare kananopagatim apya har mukhe.
मन्मतोन्मदितमानसाक्रमात्
Sudha, I'm not
तद्विलोकनरतास्ततस्ततः.
able to hear you. Is it just me or?
We can hear you. We can hear Sudhaji.
Oh, I'm not able to hear anyone. So it should be my speaker. Let me unplug that then. Okay, Sudha, go ahead. Yeah, I can hear it.
मन्मतोन् केकरदा?
केक्कुरदु.
Okay. मन्मतोन्मदितमानसाक्रमात् तद्विलोकनरतास्ततस्ततः गोपिकास्तव तव न सेहिरे हरे काननोपगतिम् अप्यहर्मुखे मन्मतोन्मदितमानसाक्रमात् तद्विलोकनरतास्ततस्ततः गोपिकास्तव न सेहिरे हरे काननोपगतिम् अप्यहर्मुखे
मन्मथोन्मथितमानसाक्रमात् तद्विलोकनरतास्ततस्ततः. Sorry. Can you give me a tune, Rajeshri?
Yeah. Manmatonmatitamanasah kramate twadvilokanaratastatastatah.
मन्मथोन्मथितमानसाक्रमात् त्वद्विलोकनरतास्ततः गोपिकास्तव न सेहिरे हरे काननोपगतिमप्यहर्मुखे मन्मथोन्मथितमानसाक्रमात् त्वद्विलोकनरतास्ततः गोपिकास्तव न सेहिरे हरे काननोपगतिमप्यहर्मुखे.
Stanza 3. Nirgate bhavati datta drishtayaha. So that is there. Remove it. Put a visarga comma. Tvad gatena manasa mrigekshanaha venu nadam upakarnya dhurataha. Some books have just a short du. Change it to a long du if you have it. Dhurataha. So that is goes away. Visarga comma. Tvad vilasa katayabhiremire. Nirgate bhavati datta drushtayah twadgate na manasa mrigekshanaha venunadamupakarnya dhuratah twadvilasa katayabhiremire.
निर्गते भवति दत्तदृष्टयः त्वद्गतेन मनसा मृगेक्षणाः वेणुनादमुपकर्ण्य दूरतः त्वद्विलासकतयाभिरेमिरे निर्गते भवति दत्तदृष्टयः त्वद्गतेन मनसा मृगेक्षणाः वेणुनादमुपकर्ण्य दूरतः त्वद्विलासकतयाभिरेमिरे.
निर्गते भवति दत्तदृष्टयः त्वद्गतेन मनसा मृगेक्षणाः वेणुनादमुपकर्ण्य दूरतः त्वद्विलासकतयाभिरेमिरे निर्गते भवति दत्तदृष्टयः त्वद्गतेन मनसा मृगेक्षणाः वेणुनादमुपकर्ण्य दूरतः त्वद्विलासकथयाभिरेमिरे
Tons of fun. कान्हनान्तमितवान् भवानपि स्निग्धपादपतले मनोरमे व्यत्यया कलितपादमास्थितः प्रत्यपूरयत वेणुनालिका. So the Gopika's affection or love for Krishna was so much that when Krishna is there at home, they spend time with Krishna. When Krishna is leaving, so they keep staring at him. Datta Drishtaya, till the point they cannot see him. So when he's leaving home for grazing, they keep staring at him till they can no longer see him. And then once he is beyond their sight, he says at that time they also are able to they are able to Venunadam. They're still able to hear the flute, you playing the flute. So when you're coming, when you're going, even though they cannot see you, they are able to hear your flute. And even when they are not able to see your flute, they are Vilasa Kathaya. They keep talking about all your activities all the time. So no matter whether you are there or able to see you or they're able to hear you or you're not there also, they're constantly always talking about you. Sorry. And then Krishna, then once you go to the forest, what you do, he says, Bhattaripat says, I'm sure all of you have seen this picture of Krishna. It's a very famous picture of Krishna where he's standing with his feet crossed and then playing the flute, right? That's exactly what this says, right? You would go there and you would stand under the tree, snigdha pada patale, at the foot of the tree, you will actually stand. And then vyatyaya kalita padam, so you'll keep your feet crossed, right? And venu nalikam, and then you used to play your flute. So Bharat was saying it's like a style. I think if there are any Rajini fans, right? Rajini had a song called Ni Nadanda Narayaneeyam, which you walk, that is a style. You smile, that is a style, right? There's a very famous song of Rajini, right? But similarly, before that itself, Krishna also has a song called Madhurashtakam. If you remember that song, it says Adaram Madhuram. That song goes, right? It says Adaram Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram. She says your lips are sweet and charming. Then Vadanam, your face is also charming. Hasitam Madhuram, you laugh, that is also sweet and charming. Hridayam Madhuram, your heart. So again, that song is full Madhurashtakam. So it talks about everything of Krishna and says how sweet and charming you are. Right? So yeah, that's what I'm also saying. You're extremely sweet and charming. Everybody's falling in love with you, right? And then you then go and stand like that under the tree playing your flute. So Kananantam itavan bhavanapi, comma, snigdha padapa tale manorame, vyatyaya kalita padam astitaha, comma, pratyapurayata venu nalikam. कान्हनान्तमितवान् भवानपि स्निग्धपादपतले मनोरमे व्यत्यया कलितपादमास्थितः प्रत्यपूरयत वेणुनालिकाम्.
काननान्तमितवान् भवानपि स्निग्धपादपतले मनोरमे व्यत्यया कलितपादमास्थितः प्रत्यपूरयत वेणुनालिकाम्. काननान्तमितवान् भवानपि स्निग्धपादपतले मनोरमे व्यत्यया कलितपादमास्थितः प्रत्यपूरयत वेणुनालिकाम्.
काननान्तमितवान् भवानपि स्निग्धपादपतले मनोरमे व्यत्यया कलितपादमास्थितः प्रत्यपूरयत वेणुनालिकाम्. काननान्तमितवान् भवानपि स्निग्धपादपतले मनोरमे व्यत्यया कलितपादमास्थितः प्रत्यपूरयत वेणुनालिकाम्.
That's a five. Mara Bana Dhuta Khechari Kulam, comma, Nirvikara Pashu Pakshi Mandalam, Dravanam Cha Drishadamapi Prabho, comma, Tavakam Vyajani Venu Kujitam. Marabhana Dhuta Khechari Kulam, Nirvikara Pashu Pakshi Mandalam, Dravanam Cha Drishadamapi Prabho, Tavakam Vyajani Venu Kujitam. Marabhana
Marabhana Dhruta Kechari.
Dhuta.
Oh,
Dhuta.
Dhuta. Okay. मारबाणदुतकेचरीकुलं निर्विकार पशुपक्षिमण्डलं द्रावणं च दृशदामपि प्रभो तावकं व्यजनी वेणुकुञ्जितं
Tavakam Vyajani Venu Kujitam.
तावकं व्यजनी वेणुकूजितं मारबाणदुतकेचरीकुलं निर्विकार पशुपक्षिमण्डलं द्रावणं च दृशदामपि प्रभो तावकं व्यजनी वेणुकूजितं.
I think in the Vyajani something you're saying different, but anyway, I think Tavakam Vyajani Venu Kujitam.
Oh, Lagani சொல்றேன். तावकं व्यजनी वेणुकूजितं.
Yeah, that's it. It's a short E, so maybe that's why.
मारबाणधृतकेचरीकुलं निर्विकार पशुपक्षिमण्डलं द्रावणं च दृशदामपि प्रभो तावकं व्यजनि वेणुकूजितं मारबाणधृतकेचरीकुलं निर्विकार पशुपक्षिमण्डलं द्रावणं च दृशदामपि प्रभो तावकं व्यजनि वेणुकूजितं.
Stanza 6. Venurandrataralangulidalam तालसञ्चलितपादपल्लवं तत्स्थितं तव परोक्षमप्यहो संविचिन्त्य मुमुहुर्व्रजाङ्गनाः. So, it says, Krishna, when you now play the flute, so when a Venunadam is playing, you play it. He says, even, that's why this Marabhana is like the arrows of Cupid. So even the divine damsels who are not very easily flattered, who cannot be easily, attracted, even they are going to fall, because that's how sweet, melodious music is coming from your flute. And then it says it even makes the animals, Pashu Pakshi Mandalams, even the animals and the birds who are all there, they all completely come to a standstill, right? When they listen to this flute of yours, to the extent that even Dravanam, even the stones which are there, it will melt the heart of the stones. So even the stones melt. That's how sweet and melodious your Venunadam is, which everybody is falling in love with. And then, thinking about that, the next stanza it talks about this posture of you, which is with your feet crossed, standing under the tree with the holding the flute, and then your fingers moving on it. So thinking about that, the Gopikas always keep thinking about that form of yours when they are not able to see you or when they are not able to hear the flute, right? So they keep thinking about it. So Venu Randhra Tarala Anguli, so Taralanguli Dalam, Tala Sanchalita Pada Pallavam Tat Stitam Tava Parokshamapyaho, Samvichintya Mumuhur Brajanganaha. So that is the form of you which the Gopikas used to think about when you are not there, and that took them to a state of bliss all the time.
ராஜேஷ், அந்த முமுகுர்ங்கறனாக்க என்ன அர்த்தம்? அது ரெண்டாவது இந்த இதுல
see Brajangana, so the Brajanganaha are the Gopikas, right? Braja Angana, those are Gopikas. Mumuhur is like a state of ecstasy. They're a state of bliss that they are able to get into by just thinking about that music of yours. Venurandra Taralanguli Dalam Tala Sanchalita Pada Pallavam Tatstitam Tava Parokshamapyaho Samvichintya Mumuhur Brajanganaha.
वेणुरन्ध्रतराङ्गुलीदलं तालसञ्चलितपादपल्लवं तस्थितं तव परोक्षमप्यहो संविचिन्त्य मुमुहुर्विरजाङ्गनाः.
On the first line, Venurandra Taralanguli.
Venurandra Taralangulidhalam Thalassanchalitapaadapallavam Tastitam Tava Parokshamapyaho Samvichintya Mumuhurvrajanganaha.
वेणुरन्ध्रतरलाङ्गुलीदलं तालसञ्चलितपादपल्लवम् तत्स्थितं तव परोक्षमप्यहो संविचिन्त्य मुमुहुर्व्रजाङ्गनाः वेणुरन्ध्रतरलाङ्गुलीदलं तालसञ्चलितपादपल्लवम् तत्स्थितं तव परोक्षमप्यहो संविचिन्त्य मुमुहुर्व्रजाङ्गनाः
निर्विशङ्ख भवदङ्ग दर्शिनीः खेचरीः put a if sound खेचरीः खग मृगान् पशूनपि त्वत्पद प्रणयि काननं च ताः धन्य धन्यमिति नन्वमानयन् निर्विशङ्क भवदङ्गदर्शिनीः खेचरीः खगमृगान् पशूनपि त्वत्पद प्रणयि काननं च ताः धन्य धन्यमिति नन्वमानयन्
निर्विशङ्ग भवदङ्गदर्शनीः निर्विशङ्क भवदङ्गदर्शिनीः खेचरी खगमृगान् पशूनपि त्वत्प्रणयि काननं त्वत्पद இல்லையே எனக்கு त्वत्पद प्रणयि काननं च ताः धन्य धन्यमिति नन्वमानयन् निर्विशङ्क भवदङ्गदर्शिनीः खेचरी खगमृगान् पशूनपि त्वत्पद प्रणयि काननं च ताः धन्य धन्यमिति नन्वमानयन्
निर्विशङ्क भवदङ्गदर्शिनीः खेचरी खगमृगान् पशूनपि त्वत्पद प्रणयी काननं च ताः धन्य धन्यमिति नन्वमानयन्.
And Tulsi, that's like the third line. Pranayi is a short e. Tvatpada pranayi kananam.
Okay, sure. निर्विशङ्क भवदङ्गदर्शिनीः खेचरी खगमृगान् पशूनपि त्वत्पद प्रणयी काननं च ताः धन्य धन्यमिति नन्वमानयन्.
Even now you stretch that e. You think pranayi. Something you're saying different there. Tvatpada pranayi kananam.
त्वत्पद प्रणयि काननं च ताः.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Stanza 8. आपिभेयमधरामृतं कदा वेणुभुक्तरसशेषमेकदा दूरतोपतकृतं दुराशयेत्याकुला मुहुरिमा समामुहन्. So the Gopikas, because they are not able to go to the forest all the time, right? So they used to wonder, the people who are able to see you, which are the plants which are there, the khaga, the animals which are there, the cows which are there, the calves which are there. So they are all so blessed because they're always with you. They have an unobstructed view. See, sometimes even when we go to Guruvayur or Tirupati or any temple, right, we just see the Lord for first of all, Lord is at a very distance, right? If you go to Guruvayur also, right, about 6 feet away, right, and then you get to see for like 10 seconds, right, and then that person will push you away, right, and then you'll start thinking, but the priest who's standing there, right, he's just standing there all day long, uninterrupted view, right? So that's what the Gopikas was thinking, like for us, we hardly get to see Krishna, but these cows which are there, the grass in Vrindavan, the trees, they all get an unobstructed view of Krishna all the time. So they're really blessed, right? And then they're thinking, so they are beginning to so overcome with distress because they want Krishna, but they're not getting Krishna. So they are actually getting this desire, which is actually getting built up in their heart. And that's going to be cover a little bit of that in the next 2 stanzas, right? As to, is desire good or not, right? So anyway, so they are missing, and that's actually putting them in a state of distress because they want something and they're not getting that. So, apibeyam adharamritam kada, venu bhukta rasa sheshamekada Durato patar kritam durashayeti. In case any of your books have durashayeti akula, then it's just separated out, but you can join it in that case. So durashayeti akula muhurimaha, putta is muhurimas samamuhan. So we'll say those two lines together. Apibeyamadharamritam kadha venubhuktarasasheshamekada durato batakritam durashahetyakula muhurima samamuhan.
Second line on the break, there is no comma,
There's
right?
no, yeah, that's a continuous. That line is continuous. Yeah.
Apibeyamadhuramritam Apibeyamadharamritam kada Venubhuktarasashe
Venubhukta.
Bhukta vadam.
Bhukta.
Apibeyamadharamritam kada Venubhukta rasasheshame kada Durato batakritam durashayet yakula muhurima samamuhan. Apibeyamadhuramritam Apibeyamadharamritam kada Venubhuktarasasheshame kada Durato batakritam durashayet yakula muhurima samamuhan.
Apibeyamadharamrutam kada venubhuktarasasheshamekada durato batakrutam durashayetyakula muhurima samamuhan. Apibeyamadharamrutam kada venubhuktarasasheshamekada Durato batakrutam durashayetyakula muhurima samamuhan.
That's a line. Pratyaham cha punar ittam anganaha. That ish that is there, remove it, put a visarga comma. Punar ittam anganaha chittayoni janitad anugrahat. If you want to break it, that da you can break. Janitad anugrahat. Baddha raga vivashas twayi prabho, comma, nityamapuriha kritya mudhatam. Pratyaham cha punarittamanganaha chittayoni janitadanugrahat baddha raga vivashas twayi prabho nityamapuriha kritya mudhatam.
Pratyaham cha punarityamanganaha
Ittam.
Punaritta.
Punaritta.
Ritta தான் போட்டிருக்கு.
Pratyaham cha punarityamangana.
Ritta. Ritya இல்ல.
Oh, ritta. Okay.
Now you're saying the ya sound.
Okay. Pratyaham cha punarityamanganaha chittayoni janitat anugrahat Baddharaga vivashastvayi prabho nityamapuriha kritya mudatham. Pratyaham cha punarittamanganaha chittayoni janitat anugrahat Baddharaga vivashastvayi prabho nityamapuriha kritya mudatham.
Rajeshji and Sudhaji, and I know I couldn't resist the way both of you are correcting yourself. It is so wonderful to watch both of you correcting each of the other.
I think it extends beyond the Narayaneeyam class also, I'm sure.
You're not getting the part of it, essence of it, Tulasi. It is who first spotted out.
This is the only reason. This is the only reason I became so happy when my husband decided not to join the class. You know.
Vijaya got it, right?
Yeah.
Sorry for taking the thing into the tangential direction. प्रत्यहं च पुनरित्थितमङ्गनाः चित्तयोनिजनितादनुग्रहात् बद्धरागविवशास्त्वयि प्रभो नित्यमापुरिह कृत्यमूढताम्.
I think you lost the tune there, but the first line, punar itham anganaha. Punarittam anganaha.
प्रत्यहं च पुनरित्तमङ्गनाः.
Yeah, pratyaham cha punarittamanganaha. Yeah.
प्रत्यहं च पुनरित्तमङ्गनाः चित्तयोनिजनितादनुग्रहात् बद्धरागविवशास्त्वयि प्रभो नित्यमापुरिह कृत्यमूढताम्.
Stanza 10. So this is a different tune. Ragastava hi swabhavat mokshopayo yatnatasyanavasyat tasam tvekam tadvayam labdhamasit bhagyam pahi mama hrutesha. So the question comes is, if you have to eventually attain Bhagavan, you should not have desire towards anything, right? That's the first thing. You should not have any attachment towards anything. But they say there's one exception. It says you can have desire to attain the Lord, because that desire doesn't count in the not having desire category, right? So here it says this attachment to anything causes bondage, right? Because then you get bound by it. We saw it in all this. It's going to come even more in the 90s, right? How you should not get attached. So if you get attached to something, it's going to cause desire. Then you are not going to get it. That's going to make you restless. Then your expectations go up. So all of that, you get stuck in that web, right? But it says, and then that is now as one track. And the second is then but attachment also comes very easy. So that is the problem also, right? You can get attached to family, you can get attached to friends, you can get attached to any objects very, very easily. But by doing that, you don't get liberated, right? But to go and to how do you get liberated? The process of doing that is very complicated. But Bhattaripat says these gopikas are blessed. That's why he says bhagyam. They are blessed because the one that they are attached to is the one that also results in giving them liberation as well. So you say they're attached to the right thing. So that attachment to attaining Krishna all the time in any form, right? And this also comes at the end of the 88th Dasakam. You can love Krishna, you can hate Krishna, you can be his friend, you can be his enemy, you can talk bad about him, doesn't matter, right? That's what Krishna Avataram itself says. As long as you're thinking about Krishna all the time. In Gopika's case, they just love Krishna so much, and that is blessed because they enjoy the process of loving Krishna, and that process of loving Krishna is also giving them liberation. So he says, Bhagyam. The Gopikas are indeed extremely blessed. So he says, oh Krishna, please protect me. With that, he ends the Venunadam. So it's really just about the Gopikas' love, which again continues in the next several chapters on that, right? So Ragas Tavaj Jayate Hi Swabhavat. Put a it at the end of that line. Next line, you may have a in. That in goes away. Mokshopayo yatnataha. Put a is. Yatnatas syan na vasyat. Tasam tvekam tadvayam labdhamasit. It's very, very easy for them, right? Loving Krishna is extremely easy. It's available very easily. So labdhamasit, comma, bhagyam pahimam marutesha. Ragastava hi swabhavat mokshopayo yatnatasyan tasam tvekam tadvayam labdhamasit bhagyam pahimam marutesha.
மாருதேஷவா நிறைய தப்பு இருக்கு.
என்ன இருக்கு உங்களுக்கு?
வாதாலயேஷன் இருக்கு.
That's okay. I mean, it's the same meaning, but the word here is marutesha. So
रागस्ताव जायते हि स्वभावात् मोक्षोपायो यत्नतस्यान्न वास्यात् तासां त्वेकं त्वद्वयं लब्धमासीत् भाग्यं पाहि मां मारुतेश रागस्ताव जायते हि स्वभावात् मोक्षोपायो यत्नतस्यान्न स्यात् तासां त्वेकं त्वद्वयं लब्धमासीत् Bhagyam bhagyam pahi mam marutesha.
The third line, tad dvayam. Second time you said tvad, tad dvayam.
Tasam tvekam tadvayam labdamasit. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Tadvayam labdamasit. Okay.
Yeah.
रागस्तावच्चायते हि स्वभावात् मोक्षोपायो यत्नतस्यान्न वा स्यात्.
So that's yat natas syan na vasyat.
Yatna
Yat natas. That's one word.
Yatna tasyanna va syat.
Yeah, yat natas is one word. Yat natas.
Yatna tasyanna va syat.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give the tune, Rajesh?
Ragastava jayate hi swabhavat.
Ragastava hi swabhavat mokshopayo yatna tasyanna va syat. Tasam tvekam tatvayam labdamasit. Bhagyam bhagyam pahi mam marutesha. Ragasthavachayate hi svabhavat mokshopayo yatnatasyanna vasyat tasam tvekam tatvayam labdamasit bhagyam bhagyam pahi mam marutesha.
Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. So that ends 59. So we'll go on to 60. So Radha, are you on today?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you and Lavanya can be student. You're available. So Dasakam 60 is Gopi Vastrapa Harana Varnanam. So stealing the clothes of the Gopikas, right? Stanza 1. Madana Turacheta Sonvaham Bhavadangridvayadhasya Kamyaya Yamuna Tatasimni Saikatim Taralakshyo Girijam Samarchichan. So the unmarried gopikas, right? So these are like people, at that age for days, the marriage gets done early. So I don't know what the age, but the unmarried set of gopikas who were all intending to marry you. So they wanted a husband like Krishna. Whether it was Krishna itself, they wanted Krishna itself. But if you don't get Krishna, they wanted a husband like Krishna. So what they do is in this Margari month, in the month which is happening in the November, December, they actually all do a vow or a fasting they do. Where for 1 month, what they do is every day morning, they go to the banks of Yamuna and then they actually make a statue of Katyayini, right? Katyayini Vratam. So here, I think, which is the word that comes here? So Girija is referring to Durga, right? So Parvati. So they actually make a statue of the goddess and then they worship the goddess every day for 1 month. And then they will not eat anything which is actually made of salt and all that stuff. So they had a lot of strict dietary restrictions as well. And they were actually doing 1 month of vrata so that they actually get a husband like you. Madanatura chetasonvaham, bhavarangri dvaya dasya kamyaya yamuna tata sini saikatim, tharalakshyo girijam samarchichan. So the important aspect here to understand, because I'll also say this a little bit later also, is the reason kind of normal mortals, right? When we are marrying, we have different reasons why we want to get married. The reasons is Gopikas wanted to get married was because they always wanted to, that's why it says very clearly, Bhavad Angri Dvaya. They always wanted to serve your feet. They always wanted to be around you. They always wanted to take care of you. So then the take care, when you are an older person, then it becomes more like a child, right? That to take care. When they're a similar age or teenagers, in this case, Krishna is still 7 at this time, right? So there's somebody who's slightly in that age. For them, taking care or always being around somebody is like being to marry to them because then you're permanently with that person, right? So that's what it says. They always want to be bhavadangri. They always want to serve your feet. Madana turacheta sonvaham bhavadangridvayadasya kamyaya yamuna tatasimni saikatim taralakshyo girijam samarchichan.
Madana turacheta sonvaham भवदङ्घ्रिद्वयदास्य काम्यया यमुना तटसीं निसैकतीं तरलाक्ष्यो गिरिजां समार्चिचन् मदनातुरचेतसोन्वहं भवदङ्घ्रिद्वयदास्य काम्यया यमुना तटसीं निसैकतीं तरलाक्ष्यो गिरिजां समार्चिचन्
मदनातुरचेतसोन्वहं भवदङ्घ्रिद्वयदास्य काम्यया यमुना तटसीं निसैकतीं तरलाक्ष्यो गिरिजां समार्चिचन् मदनातुरचेतसोन्वहं भवदङ्घ्रिद्वयदास्य काम्यया यमुना तटसीं निसैकतीं तरलाक्ष्यो गिरिजां समार्चिचन्.
तव नाम कथारता समं सुदृशः प्रातरुपागता नदीम् उपहारशतैरपूजयन् दयितो नन्दसुतो भवेदिति. So every morning, all of them will religiously go to the banks of Yamuna, and then they used to offer whatever they wanted to offer, right? And they used to have the statue, and then they used to pray. So there's a very beautiful, two-liner from Bhagavatam, I'll say, which talks about what prayer they do, right? So it says, Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogin Vadhishwari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patim Me Kurute Namaha. She says, Katyayani Mahamaye, O Katyayani, who is Mahayogini Yadishwari. You are the Mahayogini. So please bless us that Nanda Gopa Sutam, the son of Nanda Gopa, right? Sutam Devi, O Devi, please give me Nanda Gopa's son, Patim Me, as our husband, right? So that is the prayer they actually do to Katyayani, saying every day that I want to marry the son of Nanda Gopa, which is Krishna. And that's the husband I actually want, right? So, Tava Nama Katha Rataha, put is Ratas Samam, comma, Sudrushaha, put a F Sudrushav, Pratar Upagata Nadim, Upahara Shatair Apujayan, if you want to break it, Shatair Apujayan, comma, Daito Nanda Suto Bhavediti. Same thing, but Bhadrapad also saying Nanda Suto Daito. I want to marry the son of Nanda. Tava nama kataratha samham sudrishaf pratarupagata nadim upahara shataira pujayan daito nanda suto bhavediti.
Tava nama katarata samam sudrishaf pratarupagata nadim
Longi, yeah.
Nadim upahara shataira pujayan dayito nanda suto bhavediti. Tava nama katarata samam sudrishaf pratarupagata nadim upahara shataira pujayan dayito nanda suto bhavediti.
Tava nama katharata samam sudrishaf pratarupagata nadim upahara shataira pujayan dayito nanda suto bhavediti. Tava nama katharata samam sudrishaf pratarupagata nadim upahara shataira pujayan dayito nanda suto bhavediti.
Answer 3. Itimasamupahita vrataha taralakshira bibishyata bhavan karuna mrudulo naditatam samayasita danugrahechaya. So similarly like this, for an entire month, all the girls, they carried out this vow properly, right? They were fasting and they were praying, and they used to, when the morning they used to pray to the goddess Katyayani, but also in their mind they used to be always thinking about Krishna also, right? Saying, because I want this person to be my husband, so they also wanted to be thinking about Krishna all the time. And so now finally today was the last day, the 30th day or 31st day, the end of the month had come. And Krishna also understood what was in the minds of these girls that they were actually praying for. And Krishna, you then decide karuna, you then get compassionate, saying, you know what, they've been working hard for 1 month, and the time has now come for that anugrahe chaya, to actually go and bless them, right? So with that, you decide to come that day. On the last day, you come to the banks of Yamuna along with your friends. Iti masam upahita vrataha. So remove that is, put a comma, vrataha, put a visarga, sorry, comma, under comma. Taralakshir abhivikshya ta bhavan karuna mrudulo nadi tatam, comma. So next word I'm going to break it. So if you want to, so samayasit tat anugrahe chaya. So 3 words, samayasit tat anugrahe chaya. But you can also say it together if you find it easy. Iti masamupahitavrataha taralakshirabhivikshata bhavan karuna mrudulo nadi tatam samayasi tadanugrahe chaya.
इति मासमुपाहितव्रताः तरलाक्षीरभिवीक्ष्यता भवान् करुणामृदुलो नदीतटं समयासि तदनुग्रहेच्छया इति मासमुपाहितव्रताः तरलाक्षीरभिवीक्ष्यता भवान् करुणामृदुलो नदीतटं समयासि तदनुग्रहेच्छया
इति मासमुपाहितव्रताः तरलाक्षीरभिवीक्ष्यता भवान् करुणामृदुलो नदीतटं समयासि तद् अनुग्रहेच्छया इति मासमुपाहितव्रताः तरलाक्षीरभिवीक्ष्यता भवान् करुणामृदुलो नदीतटं समयासि तद् अनुग्रहेच्छया.
Yeah, I think in the break பண்றதுனால you're not getting the landing there. Samayasi tadanugrahechaya.
Samayasi tad anugrahechaya.
And the tad anugraha, don't try to break it if you cannot, if you don't have to, right? So you say tad anugrahechaya, say it together, then it will land properly.
Samayasi tad anugrahechaya.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Sense of 4. Niyamavasitau nijambaram tatasimanyavamuchyastada yamuna jalakhelana kulaha puradastvam avalokya lajjitaha. So like you said, this was the day that they were completing the vow. This was the final day of the completion of the vows. So after everything was done, after they have done the final puja to Katyayani and all the ceremonies officially complete, right? So they all decided that let's actually go have some fun. So what they do is they remove all their clothes, they put it on the banks of Yamuna, and they all get into the water, right? They get into the water naked. So that was the time Krishna and the boys end up coming. So that's just, women are taking bath in a separate place. So when Krishna and the boys come, suddenly they got Puratastvam Avalokya. So seeing you in front of them, Lajjitaha, they actually felt very ashamed and very shy also because all the boys have come. So the Gopikas are feeling, the girls are feeling very shy right now. Niyam avasitau nijambaram, comma, tata Simanyavamuchya, that's one word, Simanyavamuchya tastada Yamuna jala khelana kulaha, comma, puratas tvam avalokya lajjitaha. Niyamavasitau nijambaram tatasimanyavamuchya tastada Yamuna jala khelana kulaha puratas tvam avalokya lajjitaha.
नियमावसितौ निजाम्बरं तडसीमन्यवमुच्यतास्तदा यमुना जलखेलनाकुलाः पुरतस्त्वामवलोक्य लज्जिताः नियमावसितौ निजाम्बरं तडसीमन्यवमुच्यतास्तदा यमुना जलखेलनाकुलाः पुरतस्त्वामवलोक्य लज्जिताः
नियमावसितौ निजाम्बरं तटसीमन्यवमुच्यतास्तदा यमुना जलखेलनाकुलाः पुरतस्त्वामवलोक्य लज्जिताः नियमावसितौ निजाम्बरं तटसीमन्यवमुच्यतास्तदा यमुना जलखेलनाकुलाः पुरतास्त्वामवलोक्य लज्जिताः
Puratas on the fourth line. Okay. Puratas. Stanza 5. We'll do 5 and 6 meaning together. Trapaya namitana nasvatho. One word. Namitana nasvatho, comma. Vanita swambara jalam antike. Nihitam parigrihya bhuruho, comma. Bitapam tvam tarasadhi rudhavan. त्रपह्यानमिताननास्वथो वनिता स्वम्बरजालमन्तिके निहितं परिगृह्य भूरुहो बिटपं त्वं तरसाधिरूढवान्
त्रपयानमिताननास्वधो वनिता स्वम्बरजालमन्दिके निहितं परिगृह्य भूरुहो बिटपं त्वं तरसाधिरूढवान् त्रपयानमिताननास्वधो वनिता स्वम्बरजालमन्दिके निहितं परिगृह्य भूरुहो बिटपं त्वं तरसाधिरूढवान्
त्रपयानमिताननास्वतो वनिता स्वम्बरजालमन्तिके निहितं परिगृह्य भूरुहो वितपं त्वं तरसाधिरूढवान् त्रपयानमिताननास्वतो वनिता स्वम्बरजालमन्तिके निहितं परिगृह्य भूरुहो वितपं त्वं तरसाधिरूढवान्.
Stanza 6. इह तावदुपेत्य नीयतां वसनं वस्सुदृशो यथायथम् इति नर्म मृदुस्मिते त्वहि ब्रुवते व्यामुमुहे वधूजनैः. So when the girls were feeling shy, lajjitaha, and they had their heads down, so what Krishna does is he quickly runs and then he takes all the clothes which were lying on the banks and then he then climbs up into the branch of a tree which was actually on the bank of Yamuna, right? So he goes and sits on top of the tree. So of course they are all asking for their clothes back. So Krishna says that, no, whoever wants, you can come. You come out of the water and then I'll give you your clothes, right? Because he says, I'm sure you're all tired from all this, doing all these austerities for 1 month. So you all want to go home quickly. Whoever wants, come and take the clothes from me, right? And he says, I've never spoken a lie and I'm very stern in what I want here, right? You all have to come and ask for it. So the gopis are also thinking, you know what, this is like a 7-year-old boy, right? So, they kind of take it very casually. So, they all laugh amongst themselves, like, what is this boy asking? He's telling us to come and pick our clothes. So they kind of all laugh among themselves. They're also a little embarrassed and shy, but they don't come out of the water. They're just sitting there and laughing amongst themselves, saying, what kind of a demand is this, right? Iha tavat upetya niyatam, comma, vasanam vaha, putta is vas, sudrusho yata yatham. Iti narma mridu smite twayi. Narma mridu means in a very playful, smiling, with a laughing way you said this. Mridu smite twayi, comma, bruvati vya mumuhe vadu janaihi. Ihata vadupetya niyatam vasanam vassudrusho yatha yatham iti narma mridu smite twayi. ब्रुवदेव्यामुमुहे वधूजनैः.
इह तावदुपेत्य नीयतां वसनं वस्सुदृशो यथायथम् इति नर्म मृदुस्मिते त्वयि भ्रुवदीप्यामुमुहे वधूजनैः इह तावदुपेत्यनीयतां वसनं वः सुदृशो यथा यथम् इति नर्म मृदुस्मिते त्वयि भ्रुवदिव्या मुमुहे वधूजनैः
इह तावदुपेत्यनीयतां वसनं वः सुदृशो यथा यतम् इति नर्म मृदुस्मिते त्वयि ब्रुवती व्यामुमुहे वधूजनैः इह तावदुपेत्यनीयतां वसनं वः सुदृशो यथा यतम् इति नर्म मृदुस्मिते त्वयि ब्रुवति व्यामुमुहे वधूजनैः.
7. अयि जीवचिरं किशोरनस्तव दासीरवशीकरोषि किम् प्रदिशाम्बरमम्बुजे क्षणेत्युदितस्त्वं स्मितमेव दत्तवान्. So while the Gopikas, they are still in the water and Krishna tells you to come. So they are all refused to come, right? They all laugh at each other saying what kind of a demand this is. But then because they are all now standing in the water, they are also beginning to feel cold. So then they go tell, oh Kishora, like you said, Kishora again indicates the age, right? It's between 6 and 10, like we said, it's about 7. So he says, oh boy, he says, they're saying this is very unfair. You are coming from a very respectable family. You are Nanda Gopa's son, right? And you are so dear to us. So how can you do this to us? He's saying we are shivering. So please throw our clothes so we can actually come out of this thing. And they're saying we are like your slaves. We are like your maid servants. We'll do whatever you want, right? Whatever demands you have, we'll do. But first, give us the clothes, right? And that's what they're requesting Krishna now to give the clothes. I jiva chiram kishora nas. Put a plus. In case you have naha, then put a is and join it. Nas tava dasira vashi karoshi kim pradi shambaram ambuje kshanet yuditas. So that word also we're going to put a plus, we're going to say it together. So ambuje kshanet yuditas tvam smitameva dattavan. Ayi jiva chiram kishoranastava dasiravashi karoshi kim pradishambaram ambuje kshanet yuditas tvam smitameva dattavan.
अयि जीवचिरं किशोरनस्तव दासीरवशीकरोषि किं प्रदिशाम्बरमम्बुजे क्षणे तुदितस्त्वं स्मितमेव दत्तवान् अयि जीवचिरं अयि जीवचिरं किशोरनस्तव दासीरवशीकरोषि किं प्रदिशामम्बरमम्बुजे क्षणे तुद्युदितस्त्वं स्मितमेव दत्तवान्.
So rather on the first line on the nas tava, the nas is the middle, okay? So on the tune you come to the nas and then say nas tava, that is one. And the second line on the you are saying ambaram, right? Which is correct. But then if you say break it like that, it won't land for you. So pradishambaram ambuje, you kind of say that together.
Okay. Ayi जीवचिरं किशोरनस्तव दासीरवशीकरोषि किं प्रदिशाम्बरम् अम्बुजे क्षणे तु युदितस्त्वं स्मितमेव दत्तवान्.
Yeah.
Okay.
अयि जीवचिरं किशोरनस्तव दासीरवशीकरोषि किं प्रदिशाम्बरमम्बुजे क्षणेत्युदितस्त्वं स्मितमेव दत्तवान् अयि जीवचिरं किशोरनस्तव दासीरवशीकरोषि किं प्रदिशाम्बरम् अम्बुजे क्षणेत्युदितस्त्वं स्मितमेव दत्तवान्.
अधिरुह्यतटं कृताञ्जलिः परिशुद्धा स्वगतिर्निरीक्ष्यताः वसनान्यकिलान्यनुग्रहं पुनरेवं गिरमप्यदामुदा. So the Krishna then says, if like they said, we'll be your dasis, right? He says, if you are going to be my dasis, you're going to listen to what I'm going to say. And they say, we'll complain to the king and everything. He says, you can do whatever you want, right? If you want your clothes, you have to come out, right? And so then they finally decide there's nothing else we can do. So they cover themselves with their hands and then they come out. So Krishna says, even that is not allowed. He says, first of all, you all got into the water naked, which is not allowed, because we're going to see the same thing happen couple of times. Nandagopa is also going to do this mistake later, and we'll see what happens then, right? So he says, and also in one other episode, which one was this, where Narada is there and somebody was also bathing naked, drunk. Anyway, so Krishna says, first of all, you are the ones who offended the demigods by doing this, right? That's number one. So he says, you have to come, and he says, I want you to do Anjali. I want you to completely lift your hands and put in this Anjali, this praying position, right? So the idea was, these Gopikas were so devoted to Krishna, but they still had like a barrier between them and Krishna, right? So because you imagine, if you have to go naked in front of somebody, you will not feel like doing it, even if it is in front of God, right? So Krishna wanted to completely eliminate any barrier that these Gopikas had towards him. So them being shy of their body, them not wanting to show their body to Krishna, or any embarrassment they would have with Krishna. So this was a lesson, this was a kind of a ability for them to completely dispose any barrier, any shield, any wrap they had between them and Krishna. So we're completely coming out naked, and by holding themselves in the surrendering pose, not covering them, they that was a trigger point for them to finally, Krishna also now in the next stanza, he's going to say that, he says, now you are ready. You are now ready to be liberated, right? That's what he's going to say in the next one, because you should not have that towards the God, right? Because that's how they've been thinking, Krishna is everything for me, right? And they want to be with him all the time. So he says, you should not have any sense of shyness or embarrassment coming in front of me, right? So that was the thing, because there's a meaning for the clothes, which is really all the protection, everything that you want to shield yourself from everybody else, right? So you wanted to completely remove any barrier that existed between them. So anyway, so they come, and then they lift their hands and they put in the Anjali pose, Krita Anjalihi, and then Krishna then gives them their clothes. And then he tells them, which is what is going to come in the next stanza. So Adiruhya Tatam Kritanjalihi, Parishuddhaha, put is Parishuddhas Swagatir Nirikshya Taha Vasanan Yakilan Yanugraham. So that's what you got to say together is Vasanani Akilani Anugraham. 3 words, but you say the whole thing together. Anugraham, Punarevam Giramapyada Muda. Adiruhya Tatam Kritanjalihi Parishuddha Swagatir Nirikshataha Vasanan Yakilan Yanugraham Punarevam Giramapyada Muda.
Adiruhyatadam kritanjaliः parishuddha swagatir nirikshataः vasananyakhilanyanugraham punarevam giramapyadamuda.
So the third line, Radha, vasananyakilanyanugraham. Okay.
But okay. Adiruhyatadam kritanjalihi parishuddha swagatir nirikshataha vasananyakilanyanugraham punarevam giramapyadamuda. சரியா?
Adiruhya tatam kritanjaliः परिशुद्धा स्वगति निरीक्ष्यताः वसनान्यखिलान्यनुग्रहं पुनरेवं गिरमप्यदामुदा. अधिरुह्य तटं कृताञ्जलिः परिशुद्धा स्वगति निरीक्ष्यताः वसनान्यखिलान्यनुग्रहं पुनरेवं गिरमप्यदामुदा.
Yeah, and the anugraham kapram, this is a comma, okay, then punarevam. Stanza 9. Viditam nanuvo manishitam वदितारस्त्विह योग्यमुत्तरम् यमुना पुलिने सचन्द्रिकाः क्षणदा इत्यबलास्त्वमूचिवान्. So Krishna now tells this is Gopikas that you all have observed a very strict vow for 1 month. He says, I know what the reason for you observing the vow is. So he says, and he says, whatever you are praying will come true because you have successfully observed it, right? And with that, he says, don't worry, everything, whatever your prayers are all going to come true. So the important thing, the explanation here, like we're talking earlier, right, is of course, Krishna as a god doesn't have any desires. He's not bound by any desires, right? And the Gopikas or the girls here in this case, their intention also towards Krishna was not that of marrying Krishna for him to be their husband, was more so that they always wanted to be close to him. They always wanted to serve him. That's why even in the beginning, Bhattacharya is making that very clear. They always wanted to serve your feet. So they did not see him, Krishna, in that way, nor did Krishna see the Gopikas in that way. So it was only because he wanted to make sure the Gopikas are completely devoted to him and they don't have any barrier, all of this happens. So that's what Krishna says, and he blesses them, saying whatever you desire will come true. Viditam nanu vo, Viditam nanu vo manishitam, vaditaras tviha. That will be easier way to say it. Vaditaras tviha yogyam uttaram yamuna puline sachandrikaha, kshanada ityabalaस्त्वमूचिवान्. विदितं ननु वो मनीषितं वदितारस्त्विह योग्यमुत्तरं यमुना पुलिने सचन्द्रिकाः क्षणदा इत्यबलास्त्वमूचिवान्.
विदितं ननु वो मनीषितं वदितारस्त्विह योग्यमुत्तरं यमुना पुलिने सचन्द्रिकाः क्षणदा इत्यबलास्त्वमूचिवान्. विदितं ननु वो मनीषितं वदितारस्त्विह योग्यमुत्तरं यमुना पुलिने सचन्द्रिकाः क्षणदा इत्यबलास्त्वमूचिवान्.
विदितं ननु वो मनीषितं वदितारस्त्विह योग्यमुत्तरं यमुना पुलिने सचन्द्रिकाः क्षणदा इत्यबलास्त्वमूचिवान्. विदितं ननु वो मनीषितं वदितारस्त्विह योग्यमुत्तरं यमुना पुलिने सचन्द्रिकाः क्षणदा इत्यबलास्त्वमूचिवान्.
उपकर्ण्य भवन्मुखच्युतं मधुनिष्यन्ति वचो मृगीदृशः प्रणयादयि वीक्ष्य ते वदनाब्जं शनकैर्गृहं गताः. So Krishna also gives them advice here, saying anybody who's, like we saw in the end of the last chapter, anybody who's constantly thinking about me or has a desire for me in any way you want is never going to be bound by this desire for sense gratification, right? So even here, that's the important thing. The Gopikas, they never wanted to have sensual gratification with Krishna. They just wanted Krishna. So with that, he blesses them, and then the Gopikas who now are blessed, and they start, they go back home, right? Essentially, they get their clothes back, and then after hearing what Krishna said, they then go back. Upakarnya bhavan mukachyutam, madhu nishyandi vacho mrigi drishaha. Essentially, whatever Krishna says is like a nectar to their ears, right? They get very happy with it. Pranayadayi vikshya te, put a plus, vadanabjam shanakair griham gataha. Upakarnya bhavan mukachyutam madhunishyandi vacho mrigi drishaha pranayadayi vikshya te vadanabjam shanakair griham gataha.
उपकर्ण्य भवन्मुखच्युतं मधुनिष्यन्ति वचो मृगीदृशः प्रणयादयि वीक्ष्य ते वदनाब्जं शनकैर्गृहं गताः. उपकर्ण्य भवन्मुखच्युतं मधुनिष्यन्ति वचो मृगीदृशः प्रणयादैवीक्ष्य वीक्ष्यते वदनाब्जं शनकैर्गृहं गताः
उपकर्ण्य भवन्मुखच्युतं मधुनिष्यन्ति वचो मृगीदृशः प्रणयादयि वीक्ष्यते वदनाब्जं शनकैर्गृहं गताः उपकर्ण्य भवन्मुखच्युतं मधुनिष्यन्ति वचो मृगीदृशः वीक्ष्यते वदनाब्जं शनकैर्गृहं गताः
Lavanya andre pranayadayi. Okay. Pranayadayi da. Iti nanmanugrihy vallavihi vipinanteshu pureva sancharan karuna shishiro hare haratvarayame sakalamaya. So having blessed the gopikas this way, you then continue to roam around in the forest with your friends and everyone. So Krishna, who is Karuna Shishiro, one who is filled with compassion, who keeps everything in a very cool manner, please very quickly, Tvaraya, very quickly eradicate all the ailments I also have. Right? So that's why, if you know about this, and the aghoris, right? Some people, right, who worship Shiva and everything, they put vibhuti and all over their body, right? The idea with all of that, the original concept behind that is that you should not be attached to your body, and that should not be a deterrent for you to love God, right? So you should not worry about how you are looking, what am I dressing when I'm going to pray, when I'm going to the temple. There is a joke which comes in a Tamil movie, right, where one of the comedians says when people are standing and looking at Devi in the temple, they'll be like, oh, the Devi's saree looks so good. Oh, the Devi's ornaments look so good. So they're always so, and they compare against what they are wearing, right? So the whole idea here is you should completely detach the body consciousness when it comes to devoting to God should not be there, right? So that should not be there. That was a lesson that was missing in the Gopikas, which is the whole underlying purpose of this Dasakam as well. So iti nanvanugrihya vallavihi, long e, put a visarga comma, vipinanteshu pureva sancharan karuna shishiro hare hara, and put a plus, tvaraya me sakhalamayabalim. Iti nanvanugrihya vallavihi vipinanteshu pureva sancharan karuna shishiro hare haratvaraya me sakhalamayabalim.
इति नन्वनुगृह्य वल्लवीः विपिनान्देषु पुरेव सञ्चरन् करुणाशिशिरो हरे हरत्वरया मे सकलामया बलिम् इति नन्वनुगृह्य वल्लवीः विपिनान्देषु पुरेव सञ्चरन् करुणाशिशिरो हरे हरत्वरया मे सकलामया बलिम्
इति नन्वनुगृह्य वल्लवीः विपिनान्तेषु पुरेव सञ्चरन् करुणाशिशिरो हरे हरत्वरया मे सकलामयावलिम्.
Now in the first line vallavihi kapram is a pause, okay?
इति नन्वनुगृह्य वल्लवीः विपिनान्तेषु पुरेव सञ्चरन् करुणाशिशिरो हरे हरत्वरया मे सकलामयावलिम्.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. End the class here today. सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्यां निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनरुर्पुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावद्भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानां कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Happy
Bye.
Mother's Day,
Rajesh.
Oh,
everyone.
happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Rajesh ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you,
Rajesh,
Radha.
Thank you.
அடுத்த வாரம் சுதா இந்த வாரம் இந்தியா போறா.
என்ன கண்ணா?
சுதா இந்த வாரம் இந்தியா போறா. அடுத்த
Oh,
வாரத்துல
okay.
இருந்து அண்ணா
இந்தியால இருந்து attend பண்றேன் நான். முடிஞ்ச
Oh,
மட்டும்
okay, okay. சூப்பர் சூப்பர் என்ஜாய் பண்ணுங்க.
ஆமா, அண்ணா அண்ணா பிள்ளைக்கு கல்யாணம்.
ஓ அப்படியா? ஓகே ஓகே, வெரி குட். எவ்வளவு நாள் போறீங்க?
அண்ணா பிள்ளைக்கு.
நான் 1 month, இவாள்லாம் வந்து 2 weeks.
2 weeks. ஓகே,
ஆமா.
வெரி குட்.
நான் இருப்பேன் இங்க.
ஓகே, oops.
attend பண்றேன்.
ஓகே, என்ஜாய் பண்ணுங்க சுதா. பை.